When you hear the word wealth, what picture pops into your head? A big house, fancy car, private jet? Or maybe you think, that's for other people, not for someone like me. Here's the problem. Most of us were shown what it looks like to spend money, but almost no one explained what it really means to have wealth. Here, I'm going to explain wealth in simple English with zero fancy finance words using one short story. By the end, you'll see why some people look rich but stay broke, and others look normal but are quietly building real wealth. Let me introduce you to two neighbors, Emma and Lucas. They live on the same street, earn about the same income, and work regular jobs. But from the outside, they look completely different. Emma always has the newest phone, nice clothes, and a shiny brand new car in the driveway. Lucas, on the other hand, drives an older car, dresses simply, and his house looks, well, normal, nothing special. If you had to guess who was rich, most people would point to Emma. But here's the twist. 10 years later, Emma is stressed about money, constantly worried. Lucas is calm. He has options. So what happened? The difference between them is this. Emma focused on looking rich. Lucas focused on becoming wealthy. Looking rich is about everything other people can see. The clothes, the car, the vacation photos, the latest gadgets.
But wealth is mostly what people can't see. It's the savings account, the investments, the things that are quietly growing in value in the background. It's having low or no bad debt. Emma spent almost everything she earned on things that made her look successful. Lucas used a portion of his money to buy things that made him actually more secure over time. They both worked hard. They just played a different money game. So what is wealth? Exactly. Let's keep it super simple. Wealth is how long you could live without working while still paying your bills and living your life. It's not the car you drive, not the size of your TV. It has nothing to do with your follower count. Imagine you stopped getting a paycheck today. How long could you pay your rent or mortgage? How long could you buy food and cover the basics? If the answer is not very long, then it doesn't matter how great your life looks on the outside, there isn't much real wealth underneath. Wealth is freedom. It's the freedom of time and choice built up by decisions you made in the past. Let's go back to Emma and Lucas.
Every month when they got paid, they both had two invisible buckets in front of them. The first was the spending bucket, for things that disappear once you buy them. The second was the growing bucket, for things that can help you later. Emma poured almost everything into her spending bucket. Restaurant meals, a new car with a big monthly payment, clothes she didn't really need. Now, there's nothing wrong with enjoying your money, but her spending bucket had a hole in the bottom. The money went in and was just gone. Lucas did something different. He still spent on things he enjoyed, but every single month he made sure some money went into his growing bucket first, an emergency savings account, paying down debts faster, and later simple investments that grow over time. He didn't feel rich at first. In fact, sometimes he felt behind, thinking everyone else has nicer stuff than me. But his growing bucket was quietly filling up. That growing bucket, not the latest car, is what turns into wealth. It's the difference between a life that looks good and a life that is good because it's secure. So the next time you think about wealth, don't picture the shiny car. Picture the full bucket, the one that gives you freedom. And ask yourself, which bucket are you filling?
So what actually belongs in the wealth bucket? It's a simple idea, a place where you grow your money. Let's not get lost in specific products. Instead, think in 4 simple categories. First, savings. This is just cash for emergencies. It's your financial fire extinguisher, so one unexpected problem doesn't burn your whole life down. Second, investments. This is money you put into things that can actually grow for you. It's sending your money to the gym so it gets stronger over time. Third, paying off bad debt. Think of high-interest credit cards. Paying them off is like plugging a leak in your bucket, so less of your future money drains away to interest payments. And finally, skills. This is investing in yourself, learning things that can help you earn more later. This is how you make the entire bucket bigger. Now, you don't need to know everything about investing today. You don't need thousands of dollars to get started. What you do need is the habit, the simple, repeatable action of telling yourself, every time money comes in, at least a little bit goes into my growing bucket. Even if it's a tiny amount, you're training your brain. You're starting to believe, I don't just work for money. I make money work for me, too. That's the real beginning. Let's see how this plays out over time.
Picture two people, Emma and Lucas. Let's fast forward 10 years into their lives. Emma still earns a great income. On the surface, she looks successful. But underneath, she's juggling car payments and credit card debt. She has almost no savings. Her lifestyle is expensive to maintain, a treadmill she can't get off. If she were to lose her job tomorrow, she has maybe a couple of months before things get truly scary. She's trapped by her own success. Lucas, on the other hand, lives a little differently. Over the last 10 years, he built an emergency fund. He owes little to nothing on high-interest debt. He's been investing slowly and consistently. He lives a bit below his income. His house doesn't scream rich. His car isn't brand new. But if Lucas wanted to, take a few months off work to travel, or to handle a family emergency, or just to breathe, he probably could. He has choices. That's wealth. It's the difference between what you make and what you keep and grow. And I know what you might be thinking. Okay, but I don't earn that much. Can I actually do this? The answer is yes, absolutely. Because wealth doesn't start with a huge paycheck. It starts with a small internal shift. A shift from thinking, all my money is for spending right now, to some of my money is for my future self. At first, the amounts might feel tiny. That's fine. What matters is the practice, the discipline of putting even a little into your growing bucket every single time money shows up. Wealth is built quietly, through hundreds of small, boring decisions that most people will never see. That's why I call it quiet wealth. So if you only remember one thing from our time today, make it this. Wealth isn't about looking rich. It's about having options when life inevitably changes. The clothes, the car, the fancy vacations, those things are nice, but they are not wealth by themselves. Real wealth is the cushion. It's the backup plan. It's the quiet confidence that you're going to be okay because you've been taking care of your future self all along. In this beginner series on quiet wealth, we're going step by step. We've talked about what wealth really is. Next, we'll explore how money actually grows over time. And later, we'll demystify what things like investing and the stock market actually mean. If this helped you see wealth in a calmer, clearer way, hit subscribe and join me for the next episode. And tell me in the comments, when you used to hear the word wealth, what did you picture? Your answers help me know what to explain next. Thanks for listening. And remember, you don't have to be loud to build wealth. You just have to start quietly.